truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, it will be the truth.
If so, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do so help me God.
I do so help me God.
Sworn in, my lady.
Thank you, Mr. Ngogo.
As the court pleases, my colleague, Advocate Tunya, will pose this question.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Tunya.
But my lady, before I could proceed with questions to the witness, I wish to apply to this honorable court for a provisional acceptance of a photo album that has been compiled by Warrant Officer Bessie Badges of Crime Scene Management. This photo album, my lady, relates to the reconstructed scene as well as the locomotive that is alleged to have been the subject of these proceedings.
Yes.
My lady, from the record that is before your ladyship, it is volume A, particular pages are from page 200 to 215 of the paginated. My lady.
Yes, I've got that.
Yes, Charlene.
I've got that.
As the court pleases, my lady. My lady, the questioning will relate, or rather, my lady, may this photo album
and which appears on volume A from pages 200 to 215. 215 being the key two photographs, is provisionally accepted into the record as Exhibit E.
Exhibit F.
Exhibit F.
As the court pleases, my lady.
Thank you.
My lady, the screen will be utilized to depict the relevant photographs.
Thank you.
Of Exhibit F.
Yes, Mr. Tunya.
Colonel Montle, at paragraph 7 of your statement.
I don't know whether it needs to be tilted a bit towards him, or is he satisfied to look at it at an angle?
I'm satisfied.
You're satisfied. Thank you.
As court pleases, my lady. Warrant Officer Montle, at paragraph 7 of your statement that you have testified to, you inter alia refer to a meeting that you had with Mr. Leslie Labaskachne, whom you subsequently requested assistance to locate a similar locomotive to the one that is allegedly to have brought about the death of Chief Luthuli.
That is correct, my lady.
Yaqinisekisa kufakazi lokho abekudalile lapha ke esigabeni sakhe sesikhombisa lapho athi waba nomhlangano khona nomnumzane uLeslie nokulapha amcela khona ukuthi ke na akakazise noma veze ke la lesi sitimela imiguzu elifana naleli singalo noma lambandakanye ke sigamekweni.
I further correct that your investigations revealed that Leslie Labuschagne is a custodian of a locomotive which is similar to the one that was allegedly a subject of these proceedings.
That is correct, my lady.
Kunjalo ukuthi umnumzane uLeslie uyena nikazi ke waleli gozi elifana noma malifana nalelia elambandakanyeka isigamekweni.
Sir, can you have a look at Exhibit F, photograph 14? Is this the locomotive that you referred to during your evidence?
That is correct, my lady.
Impela ke kunjalo njengoba ngibukele lesisithombe esiveziwe lapha kwisifakaziso uF ukuthi hayi yilo leli gozi bengikhuluma ke ngale lifana.
Are you able to tell court where this locomotive is parked?
The premises, it's in Pretoria. The area is called the Hermanstad. And in the premises, there are coaches and other trains. However, this one, it's parked almost on the separate end.
Can you have a further look at photograph 15?
Mayichaza ke la kubhake khona ke la lelikuze silibhekile uthi lapha ke ePitoli khona ke amagceke la kubhake khona kodwa lona lithe ukuba ukuthi ngoba khona netimela namanye amagozi akhona lapho kodwa lithe kuba buqhamuka kulamagceke.
What is the
sorry.
working?
I think they are trying to get to photo 15.
As a couple.
Yes, you may proceed.
As a couple, yes, my lady. Say, photo 15 depicts what one could refer to as a locomotive. Am I correct?
That is correct, my lady.
Kunjalo ke impela ukuthi masibheka ke la kulesithombo number 15 sisaveza lona igozi lestimela.
Can we also look at photo 16 of Exhibit F? Is this still the same locomotive that is depicted in photographs 14 and 15?
That is correct, my lady. It's the same.
Kuseyinto eyodwa ke noma kuseyilona legozi ebesilibona ku14 no15 kulesithombo number 16.
Are you able to comment as to the working order of this locomotive? Was it still an operating locomotive or a locomotive that was kept for the value to depict the evolution of our locomotive system in the country?
My lady, what I observed is Mr. Labuschagne is regional standard. And he told me that at some time when they are done, he do take them back to the rails. So in that instance, he didn't try to operate it, but I could see that it was still complete.
Mayiphawula ukuthi makubheka ukuthi yena ngokubona kwakhe wabona ukuthi ngabe le kuzase simeni sokusebenza isimeni esinjani uthi cha engakubona lapha lalibukali kahle lesimeni ngoba ngathi kwayena umnumzane lo lesilwayisa walungisa ke lungiselela ukuthi azokwazi ukwabuyisela ke futhi ke emzileni kuyinhlelo zakhe.
No further questions for the witness.
Thank you very much, Colonel Just.
Thank you.
Thank you, my lady. I call Lieutenant Colonel Stein. Lieutenant Colonel Johannes Stein.
Yes, my registrar would swear him in.
Lieutenant, do you have any objection in taking the prescribed oath?
No, my lady.
Can you please state your full names?
Thomas Johannes Adolf Stein, my lady.
Sir, do you swear that the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
It will be the truth, my lady.
If so, can you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I do so help me God.
I do so help me God.
Sworn in, my lady.
Thank you.
Fakazi wethu kusesithathile isifungo wazichaza phambi kwenkantolo ukuthi uThomas Johannes wakaStein wafunga ke phambi kwenkantolo.
Is it
Mr.
correct?
Noble?
Is it correct to say that you are employed by the South African Police Services? You are stationed at the Directorate for Priority Crimes Investigations, known as DPCI, as a senior investigator under the TRC component or unit.
That is correct, my lady.
Ngiyaqinisekisa ufakazi ukuthi ke uqashwe ngaphansi kophiko lamaphoyisa la eMzansi ngaphansi kophiko oluphenya amacala akhethekile ngokwezinga lakhe emaphoyiseni ke usengumphenyi omkantshubovu.
And you are based in the KwaZulu-Natal region of the TRC unit under DPCI.
That is correct, my lady.
Ngokusebenza kuzinzela KwaZulu-Natal ngaphansi ke kwalo ke uphiko luphenya ke noma ke komiti leliphenya ke amaqiniso nokubuyisana uphiko olukhethekile.
As of present, how many years do you have in this unit of the TRC unit in the DPCI?
It's now close to 5 years, my lady.
Na kuleli themba ke noma uphiko sekulona lokubheka amaqiniso nokubuyisana iminyaka emihlanu.
Okay. So you were part of the first establishment of the unit, the TRC unit in KZN in 2021.
That is correct, my lady.
Yebo kuyiqiniso ukuthi naye waba uqala ke kusesikhathi kusungula leli themba ngonyaka 2021 elalizophenya ke la eqiniso nokubuyisana.
And Colonel Motley, who testified before you, you know him.
I know him, my lady.
Yebo uyamazi ke nofakazi lo ngaphambilini kadethi ufakazi uKenneth Motley.
And I understand that you have done some work in respect of this matter as part of the team of investigators from KZN. Is that correct?
That is correct, my lady.
Yebo kuyiqiniso ukuthi naye beyingxenye yethimba ebeliphenya lolu daba la KwaZulu-Natal.
And how many years for InterSec do you have as a police officer, as an investigator in particular?
38 years, my lady.
La eminyaka senayo ophikweni njengomphenyi ingamashumi amathathu nesishiyagalombili 38.
Okay. And is it correct that you then, having participated in some investigations in this matter, compiled a statement of what you had done?
That is correct, my lady.
Yebo kuyiqiniso impela ukuthi njoba nami ngibe ingxenye yabaphenyi balolu daba nami ke kwengakwenza noma iqhaza engalibamba ngahlanganisa ke statement noma inkulumo efungelwe phansi yaloko engakwenza kulolu daba.
I want to hand to you a copy of the purported statement. It is part of volume A, my lady,
Yes, thank you.
pages 10 to 11. So it's 2 pages. Is that your statement, sir?
That is correct, my lady.
Siqinisekisa statement esakhe ukuthi isona.
And is it correct you compiled this yourself, signed before the commissioner of oath as well?
Yes, my lady.
Qinisekisa ukusifungiselwa lesi statement ngaphambi kwamfungisi.
Before I ask you further questions, may I ask you to read what you incorporated in your statement starting from paragraph 2?
On 18 January,
Sorry, do you want it to be an exhibit or
Yes,
just one?
as the court pleases. Thank you for reminding me, my lady.
It will be exhibit G.
It would be G. Just
Thank
mark
you.
it. Proceed, sir.
on 18 January 2023, I was on duty. At 12:30, I was with Colonel Motley, busy performing investigation duties. He was the investigating officer of Durban Soki Inquiry 39/6/2021. The inquiry pertains to the death of Chief Albert Luthuli. We were busy tracing a witness in the Pieter Francois van Wyk. His last known address was 222 9th Avenue, Stanford Hills, Durban. 3. I managed to trace the house, but only parts of the house were still standing. I met a security guard who was guarding the house, the next door house, and he informed me that no person stayed in the house for years. The person, Pieter van Wyk, was unknown to him. 4. On 17 October 2024 at 7:30, I went to the St. Andrews Hotel in St. Andrews Street, Durban. The building is in a bad condition. I did inquiries inside the building, but all the workers are not working there for a long period. Daniel Lessing Greiling is unknown to them. No register dating back to before the year 2000s are available. 5. I know and understand the contents of the statement. I have no taking the prescribed oath. I consider it on my conscience. I swear that the contents of this statement are true, so help me God.
Yes.
Ufakazi bekade sifundela ke statement sakhe ke esimayelana nodaba ke uthi mechaza ke iqhaza lakhe libamba kuleli cala uthi kwakumhla ka 18 kuJanuary kulonyaka unyaka ka wayesebenza ke uthi ngekhathi gamanxa ihora la le12 ke emini bebade uthi wayenoza kwabo ke uColonel Motley bematasa benza umsebenzi wabo kuphenya uthi ke la yena ke njengo phenyi ke la olapha ke eThekwini ethimbeni eliphenya amacala abucaya ahleliwe la futhi ke ambandakanya ke loluphenyo noma leli cala elu 39 of 06 2021 uthi ke ngempela babe matasa ke bephenya ke mayelana nalecala lokukhothama kwenkosi uAlbert Luthuli uthi asimatasa ke la sithungatha ofakazi ke la baleli cala kunofakazi ke noma lo owavela Peter Francis van Wyk wagcina ke ikheli lakhe noma ihlala lapha ke enumber 222 9th Avenue Stanford Hills khona eThekwini uthi ke ngakwazi ukuthi ngiyithole ke indlu kodwa engakufica lapha kwakusekhona izingxenye ezithize zesakhiwo sesindiza samile ngadibana nogado wayegada eduze nalendlu owasho ukuthi cha akho umuntu ke la sekuneminyaka angahlala emuntu washo futhi ukuthi yena lo mnumzane ke uPeter van Wyk akamazi ke inhlobo okwathi ke lapha ngomhla 17 kuOctober kunyaka 2022 ngekhathi okugamanxa kwehora lesikhombisa ekseni uthi wanikela lapha ke ehotela eli St Andrews elisemgwaqeni obizwa nge St Andrews khona lapha eThekwini wathola ke isakhiwe esasisesimini sasesibi ke la nokuthi ke wabe esenza ke uphenye ebuza ngaso lona isakhiwe ngaphakathi kodwa abasebenza babe lapha babesho cha akusikudala besebenza ke la kule ndawo nokuyilapho ke uDaniel Leslie Grayling babe ngamazi ke inhlobo ke bona futhi nemqulu ebhalwe phansi ke lapha beyingekho ke imqulu emdala noma eveze zonke izinto ezazikhona phambili ngaphambi kukanyaka ka2000 okukona umqulu ke noma into ezibhalwe ikhona kanti ke ufakazi ubese eyibophezelela noma ke sekufungela ke konke lokho ukuthi ngempela kuloku asekuchazile uyayibophezelela ukuthi ke kuyiqiniso futhi uyakwazi ke wabe sefungiswa ke thatha isifungo ke sokuzibopha kuloko.
Okay. And those persons that you've mentioned, starting with Grayling, that was a person who was said to be a fireman in the original inquest.
That is correct, my lady.
Yebo kuliqiniso ukuthi lo umnumzana akhuluma ngaye umnumzana uGrayling lapha ke eqaleni noma la qala khona ke ubhekwa lolu daba yena wayechazwe njengo lo wespam noma ku fireman.
And the one whom you referred to as Francois van Wyk was referred to as the conductor in the original inquest.
That is correct, my lady.
Lo Peter van Wyk yena ubechazwe ndo lapha eqale njengo umsizi noma wayengumlekeleli ke lapha ke.
I understand also that that your team had attempted to, whilst Motley was still with you, to look for the person who was identified as a driver, Lati Khan, and couldn't be found.
That is correct, my lady.
Kunjalo impela ukuthi silithimba ke la kwakusekhona naye uMotle sazama ukuthungatha lo kuthiwa wayengumqhubi ke noma umshayeli wale stimela kodwa uLati Khan asikwazanga ke ukuphumela noma ukuthi simthole.
Okay. Your statement is dated October of 2024. You confirm that?
That is correct, my lady.
Yebo kunjalo nje bakuvele kwestatement sami lapho October kanyaka 2024.
And I understand that after that you have done some investigation that you have not reduced to writing, including requesting certain documents from the National Archives. Tell the court about that.
That is correct, my lady. On the 21st of January 2025, I was at the DPP offices in Pietermaritzburg, and we discussed the possibility that there could be more documents from the Department of Justice at the National Archives in Pretoria. I phoned the lady responsible working with us, Zahira Adams Mwepe, and I asked her to see if she can find any documents from the Department of Justice relating to Chief Albert Luthuli.
Just wait for the interpretation.
Uthi ke la impela ke kunjalo nje bebuza ukuthi ke ngale kwaloku asesichazele kona okubhalwe phansi kukhona okunye okuthize akwenza malana lecala okungashicilele ke phansi uthi ke ngempela kunjalo lapha ngomhla 21 kuJanuary kunyaka lo ka2025 ngaya lapha emahhovisi ke abashushisi ke abakhulu phecelezi ka DPP khona la eMgungundlovu nokuyilapho ke esaxoxisana ke bengitshela ukuthi kungenzeka ukuthi kukhona okuthize okusekungathola mhlawumbe okubekwe emqulwini egcina izinto zokusebenza noma zalapha ke enkantolo uthi ke basho ukuthi lapha ke komkhulu ke la noma ke ehhovisi likazwelonke elapha ke ePitoli ka eminyango wezobulungiswa uthi ngempela khona abasebenzisana ke waxhumana ke nayo ke le ntokazi la uAdams Qwebe ukuthi ke na akakambhekele lapha ke la kugcinwa khona zonke izinto noma ke imininingwane ephathelene nenkantolo ukuthi kukhona okuthize ayingakuthola nakubhalwe phansi okumayilana nenkosi ke uLuthuli.
And the lady you're talking about is an official from the National Archives, and she works for the National Archives.
That is correct,
Pretoria.
my lady.
Kunjalo ukuthi le ntokazi axhumana ke nayo ivele isebenza lapha ke ePitoli la kugcinwa khona makuma archives la kugcinwa khona zonke into ezisuye setshenziswa ke la enkantolo noma ke umnyango lo wezobilungiswa.
And was there any outcome with regard to that?
On the 10th of February 2025, Zahida Adams phoned me, discovered some documents from the Department of Justice.
Impela ke kuthe ngomhla ka10 kuFebruary kona lonyaka ka2025 le ntokazi ke uZahida Adams yamthinta ke la yamtshela ukuthi kukhona okuthize kutholile lapha ke ezintweni noma ke emqulwini wababe obekiwe lapha eNational Office ezimayelana nayo inkosi.
I requested the
Milk doesn't have to make you feel bloated and uncomfortable. That's why there's
Wamcela ke ukuthi ke yonke lo mniningwane uyacela amshicilele yona kwi memory stick uzohlela ukuthi ke azolanda ke.
At that stage, I knew that Peter Maritzburg were at the workshop in Pretoria at the NPA, and I requested Advocate Chwene to collect the memory stick on my behalf.
Uthi ngaleso sikhathi ke nganginalo ulwazi lokuthi la abashushisi ke bala eMgungundlovu babe kade behambela inkomfa yaka NPA iyayilapha ke ePitoli nokuyilapho ngabe sengenza khona izinhlelo nomunye kuadvocate uTshwele noma ngenasiqinisekiso ke mhlawumbe Ntshwene yebo Tshwene uthi wayenza inhlelo ukuthi ucela ukuthi amcoshele noma amthathele le memory stick njengohlela ekade nalo nentokazi.
On the 18th of February, I met with Advocate Chwene at Pongola Court, where we had the matter set down, and she handed me an envelope which contained the memory stick.
Ngempela ke kuthe ngomhla ka18 ku February kona lonyaka wahlangana naye kuadvocate Chwene lapha ePhongolo kokhona icala ababezodibana ke ngalo nokuyilapho abe semdlulisela khona ke envelope eyayikade iqukethe yona ke le memory stick.
We quickly went through the documents on the laptop, and I saw that there were about 600 pages of documents.
Ngempela ke sabe ke sesibheka ke konke ke lokho sasithunyeleliwe sibheka ke lapha ke kuyi laptop amakhasi nje ewonke ayilapha ke ko amakhasi ka 600 esawabhekayo ke la.
There were 4 parts of these documents, and each part had a brown cover on marked part 1, part 2, part 3.
Ngokwa wonke ke lamakhasi kane khona ke isigaba sokuqala sesibili sesithathu sesine ehlukaniseke ngazo lezi icover ke eyayi untu noma ke ibrown.
I scanned through the documents and saw that it was mostly documents, letters written by Chief Albert Luthuli to the Department of Justice and vice versa.
Ngathi ke mangibheka ke lama phepha ngabona ukuthi kwakuyincwadi lezi ezazibhalwa iyona inkosi uLuthuli izibhalela ke umnyango wezobulungiswa okusho ukuthi nomnyango wezobulungiswa uphinde umbhalela kumphendula izo lezo ncwadi ke lezi engazibonayo.
As example, there was a letter from Chief Albert Luthuli where he asked for relaxation of the restraints that was placed upon him and his movement, his freedom of movement, which he wrote to the Department of Justice.
Lapho nje isibonelo mangake ngicaphune kwenye incwadi engacaphela noma engakubona ilapho inkosi uLuthuli kade ibhale khona ibhalela umnyango wezobulungiswa ngokucela noma inxenxa ukuqeqiswa ke la kwengcindezi engaphansi kwayo kungakwazi ukukhuleka ekutheni ahambe ke noma ukukhuleka kwezinye izinto esinye noma enye into engayiqaphela ke la ayikade ke eyicela.
There was also a letter from application from the Chief Albert Luthuli to the magistrate asking permission to visit a doctor in Stanger.
Kukhona futhi enye incwadi eyifakwe njengesicelo iyona inkosi ibhalela ke uMantshi lapha ke eStenga ecela imvume yokwazi ukuthi ahambele udokotela eStenga.
Same for an application to visit a doctor in Durban area.
Kanjalo ke futhi khona enye incwadi enayinesicelo senkosi eyayicela ukunikwa igunya noma imvumo yokubona udokotela eThekwini.
Most of these documents were addressed to a magistrate in Stanger, Magistrate Boswell.
Kwaku iningi lalezi ncwadi zazibhekiswe noma sisuka ke lapha ke kuMantshi ecela ke kuMantshi Stenga also.
There were lots of newspaper clippings in this files, photographs from of a train and newspaper clippings pertaining to the incident, the planned holding of an inquest, the results of the inquest, the outcome of the inquest, and various other newspaper clippings.
Kulemqulu futhi kwakukhona amaphephandaba emaningi ke ayifakiwe laphana daba ke la noma ke iphephandaba la kuvela udaba lestimela nenhlelo nje nangesigameko nje kokuningi izinto ezazikhona ngokwala amaphephandaba ayikhona eshicileliwe ke la.
It was, the newspaper clippings came from various newspapers, daily newspapers, English newspapers, Afrikaans newspapers, and there are numerous newspaper clippings.
Cha, lama phephandaba ayimaningi impela futhi eqhamuka kuma phephandaba kahlukene ke Daily Sign, elesingisi, elesibhono nje kwakwama phephandaba amaningi ahlukahlukene.
May I ask, I want to show you, because these files are contained in 2 volumes, Volume D and Volume E. If you may have a look, let's start with Volume D. Do you recognize what is contained?
Yes, my lady, it is the same files that was on the memory stick. The first one is also marked Part 1, and
Yes.
the second one is marked Part 2.
Yebo, uma ngibheka lo mqulu engikhonjiswayo uma ngibuza ukuthi ngabe
Just
ngiyawubona na.
keep your finger there on Part 2. Now we are looking, my lady, we are looking at Volume D of, is it? Yeah, it's Volume D. Just look at the beginning. What is the paginated page number that is allocated in the face of it? There, just look at the bottom.
Volume 1.
Page number?
2 to 259.
Yes, so the first one, part 1, goes from page 2 to 259.
9. 259, my lady.
259. And then part 2, which is a second file, justice file.
I see volume 2, it's page 634 to 711.
Okay, just look at where you've put the finger if the number corresponds.
I can't see it here. I don't know what you mean with if the number corresponds.
Can I use my glasses? Okay. So part 2 starts 260.
That's correct, my lady.
Ufakazi ke uqinisekisa ke la lo mqulo okhonjiswe phambi kwakhe ukuthi uyawubona uyawazi yiwo phela lo okwakuqukethwe lapha kule ya memory stick ayicelile yaphathiswa njoba bechazile vele ufakazi ukuthi ngokwalomqulo yezinhlazishicilelo la zazihlukaniswe ngekweigaba kwakhona isigaba sokuqala sesibili ngokwalamakhasi ke njoba esewachaza ngokwezinombolo zabo.
And as I see, it goes to 492.
That's correct, my lady.
You can put your glasses.
No, I can see without my
Page
glasses.
2,
Oh, you can see.
page 292.
It starts from to 492. That is part 2.
Yes.
So exhibit D or volume D of this list of 2 parts of 2 files from justice. Am I correct?
That is correct, my lady.
The first file is part A, and the second file is part, we would refer to it as part B.
That is correct, my lady.
Kuyiqiniso ukuthi la ngokwalemqulo emibili kwakhona amafayela ayibhekiswe ke kumnyango wezobulungiswa ke emabili ahlukanisiwe khona isigaba sokuqala A nesigaba usigaba B.
And on the face of these parts of these files, on the face in the
Sorry,
brown.
Mr. Ngcobo,
Yes.
Why are we now switching to designation by letters of the alphabet A and B? Because earlier on he said there are 4 parts: part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4.
Oh, yes, actually we should maintain that.
Yes, I think so.
As the court pleases, part 1, 2, 3, and 4.
So
What I will
change
be
that.
seeking eventually is that the entire volume of the justice files, the DOJ files, which are contained in volume D and E, be marked as an exhibit with parts 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yes.
So exhibit, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Then
Am I making
the parts,
sense? Yes.
The parts we refer to them as 1, 2, 3. We use
Yes,
numericals.
1, 2, 3, yes.
But because we've got so many exhibit A, B, C, D, and we've
Correct.
got file volume A, B, C, I think we must stick to part 1, 2,
Part 1,
3,
2,
and 4.
3, as the court pleases.
Thank you.
Yes. So it will be an exhibit following G, an exhibit H, part
Yes.
1, part 2, part 3, part 4.
So we'll call that exhibit H.
So you confirm these are the files you received?
That is correct, my lady.
Qinisekisa kumqulu ngokuhlukana ke kwawo ukuthi ke yiwo lo.
And you may, for completeness, just look at this one contained in volume E.
lady, these ones are also marked part 1 and part 2.
So for sequence purposes, those contained in volume E, we will mark as part 3 and part 4 respectively for purposes of exhibit marking.
That is correct, my lady.
Siyaqonda ke indlela ezohlukaniswa ngakhona yonke ke lemqulu njengoba bekuchaziwe ke ukuthi izohlukaniswa lo lapha kuzoba kuzoqhubeka esinye sesigaba ke ngokuhlukana njengoba so no 4.
You also confirm that those were part of what you had received.
That is correct, my lady.
Kunjalo ukuthi ingxenye yezinto azimukelayo lezi.
And you then, I understand you left to the prosecution team to analyze the contents.
To peruse and scrutinize it, my lady, that's correct.
Yes.
And to print it.
Kunjalo ukuthi ngayekelela ke ethimbeni labashoshe sibeyibona ababezohlanganisa kabahlele ke ngendlela yokuzibeka nokuthi futhi zikhishwe ke lapha noma ziprintwe.
As the court pleases. No further questions
Thank
for
you.
this witness. That is Exhibit H, which contains parts 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Thank you, Mr. I don't know whether your colleagues have got any questions or input. Ms. Cheney?
No further questions for me, my lady.
No questions, my lady.
Mr. Dunya?
As God pleases, my lady, can the court bear with me? Just there is one aspect that I wish to converse with the witness. I'm trying to get to the relevant page of volume D, part 2. My lady, may the court. My lady, the issue is more about the computer literacy. Now,
We
there
can take a short adjournment
Yes,
so
the
that
court
you
will-
satisfy yourself.
yes, as the court pleases, my lady, I will be indebted to the court.
How many minutes do you require?
My lady, 10 minutes.
Okay, let's take a short adjournment. The witness may remain on the stand.
As the court pleases.
Is that warrant officer? Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel Stein, you may sit down.
Thank you,
Thank you.
my lady.
We'll take a 10-minute adjournment.
But it's definitely volume D 795.
795. Eh? 795.
Amphelios UV Immune 400 with Mixeril 400.
former oath?
Yes, my lady.
As the court please, my lady, I'm indebted to the court. My lady, I wish to take the witness through Exhibit D, page 786 of the paginated 786. Exhibit H.
Yes. 7-8.
786,
Thank
my
you.
lady. Lieutenant Colonel, have you had sight of the communique that is contained on page 786 of Exhibit H?
Yes, my lady.
Do you agree with me that this communique dated the 27th of September 1967 was addressed to the Secretary for Justice by the Magistrate of Stanger, Mr. Boswell. Say I Boswell. Do you agree with me?
I agree, my lady.
And do you further agree with me that this communique reads as follows? I have to advise you that an inquest in connection with the death of the above named was held by me on 19 September 1967. And the name that is written or that is referred to is that of Albert John Luthuli, your file being 17/4/1. Am I correct?
That is correct, my lady.
Kuyaqinisekisa kufakazi la kulomqulu wezinye izinto ezatholakala lapha umayelana nefile livezwa ke ukuba libhalwe egameni lika Albert John Luthuli, file number ke u 1733/41 nanokuqinisekisa ke la ukuthi ke na uyaqinisekisa ke ukuthi ululekile noma watshelwa ngalolu daba ke la lokuphenywa lokukhuthama noma lokushona ke kwalokuchaziwe uthi uyena umuntu oyephethe udaba ke lapha ngomhla ka 19 September kunyaka ka 1967.
Say, do you confirm and or agree with me that at the second page of this communique, as it appears on page 787 of the paginated documents, my lady,
Yes.
that it is recorded, the last paragraph records that the possibility of Luthuli having contemplated suicide was considered, but his actions were definitely not consistent with an intention to kill himself.
That is correct, my lady.
Yebo kuyiqiniso ke lana ukuthi kona uma ubheka ngendlela ekushicilelwe ngayo la kwakuvela nje la yena kodwa futhi uma ubheka izenzo zakhe akukona lezi ezivele nje ukuthi umuntu wayehlose ukuyivulala.
And Lieutenant Colonel, just a paragraph above the one that I've referred you to, it is suggested in this paragraph that the family, after having accepted the evidence the medical evidence. After the family has accepted the medical evidence that was adduced, they then accept the version that Luthuli was run over by the train accidentally. Can you see that?
Yes, my lady.
Bona ukuthi emveni kokuba ke umndeni umukele le ncazelo yokuthi ke na lo noma inkosi iyayikade ke ilimale noma ishona emveni kokuba ke igaywe istimela ke na babe sebemukela ngale ondlela ke emveni kokumukela ubufakazi badokotela.
So is this version consistent with the representations that were submitted to the Office of the National Director of Public Prosecutions to have the inquest reopened?
That is correct, my lady, it is.
Yebo kunjalo ke hambisana ke lokhu ke okuveziwe ke nalo ke kwenza isizathu sokuthi phela manje ke kubuyelwe kuyo kophiko lokushushisa ukuthi bacela ukuthi lolu daba liphinde liqale phansi ke la luphenywe noma ke libheke kabusha.
Can you listen to my question? Is the family submitted representations to the National Director of Public Prosecutions, saying to her they are dissatisfied, they are not satisfied with the outcome of the inquest. But the magistrate who presided over the inquest reported contrary to what the family is saying.
Sorry, Mr. Tunya. I was listening even to your first, the first time you put the question.
Yes.
Would it be within the knowledge of this witness?
It would, in the sense that the DPCI commenced with the investigations based
On the representations by the...
my lady,
I
which were
think maybe
requested.
you can rephrase the question. I'm still trying to think how this witness would be in a position to answer it
Okay.
the way you want him to answer it. It can either be a matter for you to argue the inconsistency between the representation made by the family and the content of this
Comment.
letter. Suffice to say that this witness can merely confirm that what is written here is what he received.
As a good businessman. As a good businessman, lady, I'm indebted to your ladyship. Lieutenant Colonel, let us then move, accepting that this document is part of Exhibit H that you have testified to.
That is correct, my lady.
Furthermore, let us move to page 795 of the paginated pages. This being the letter dated 11th September 1967, written to the Secretary of Justice, by the Stanger magistrate, Mr. C.I. Boswell. And this letter relates to a secret circular number 2 of 4th of August 1967. Are we in agreement?
That is correct, we are, my lady.
And furthermore, that the communique relates to the death of Albert John Luthuli.
That is correct, my lady.
Ufakazi uqinisekisa ke le ncwadi okuyona evela kulesi sigaba ke ebhalwa ke kumantshi walapha ke eSteng ngomhla 11 September ku1967 futhi ke futhi iyayivele ikhuluma ngayo ke inkosi uLuthuli le ncwadi.
And this communique is part of the documents that were handed over by the National Archives.
That is correct, my lady.
Yebo ilinye lemqulu lathola lapha lagcina khona ke izinto ezigciniwe ma-archives.
And for purposes of these proceedings, this document is part of Exhibit H.
That is correct, my lady.
Yebo kulolu daba ziyingxenye sifaka su-H.
My lady, I'm not going to overburden the record by reading this communication.
But I'm
This
sure you can read
communication-
it.
My lady?
You can read it. There are people who are interested in knowing the contents.
Yes, this is, my lady. This document, I need to state that it has been referred to in my opening statement.
Yes, that's why I say it is of interest that you read it.
This communique reads as follows. In pursuance of your secret circular number 2 of 4th August 1967, I have to report that the inquest proceedings in connection with the death of the above named will be held at Stanger by me on the 19th September 1967 at 10 a.m. From the reports available at present, I do not expect the finding to be one other than accidental death. I gather, however, that the cause of death, as furnished by the district surgeon, might be questioned by the relatives, but I cannot anticipate on what grounds the dispute is based.
Besifundela ke le ncwadi eyayibhalwe ke umantshi ke ebikela ke noma ke ikomkhulu ngodaba lokuthi uma kuqhutshwa ngokwalesi sigaba ke noma ke sifihla ke osu number 2 ekuthenini ke lapho mhla 4 August 1967 uthi ke la fanele ke abike noma ke akubikayo ngodaba ke lapho ukuthi leli likamufi ke lo uLuthuli uthi ke uzobamba ke lana ke inguyaza noma ke ekutheni kacubungule ke nalo daba lapha ke inkantolo yaseSteng ngomhla 19 September 1967 ngo10 ekseni uthi ke emveni kwembiko abeyitholile noma yayikhona akalindele ukuthi kube khona okunye ke azokuthola ngale kokuthi ke la kwaba ingozi ngoba uthi ke noma umndeni ke wona ke ukhombisa ke ungabaza noma kuba nembuzo ke ngalokho kodwa manje azikho izinto ezisekela imibuzo ke yayo nje ngale kokuthi ke kumukele noma kasho lokho udokotela abevele ke sechazile wesifundo kuyena wahlola isidumbu sikamufi.
My lady, no further questions for the witness.
Can you comment? Can you comment, Lieutenant? The letter is dated the 11th of September 1967, and it's prior to the inquest being held. Do you have any comment?
Yes, my lady. The letter was written on the 11th of September 1967, prior to the inquest that held on the 19th of September 1967.
And the second paragraph, what do you make of it?
That the magistrate had already given indication about what his findings will be on the 19th of September, but he already made that findings on the 11th of September.
Thank you.
Yes, the court pleases me.
uyayibona incwadi le incwadi ke iyabhala ngaphambilini kwangalelanga okuzohlala ngalo uthangame futhi uma ubheka ke lapho uyambona indlela echaza ngayo manje ukuthi ubhala nje vele isithuku lokukhishwa kwesinqumo.
Thank you. Do any of the team of prosecution?
Just a comment. You may comment one issue, and you confirm also, arising from that letter, that we have been unable, as the prosecution team and the investigation team, to locate this so-called secret circular that had to do with the inquest, which was to be held in this matter.
That is correct, my
Yebo,
lady.
uyaqinisekisa ufakazi ukuthi uma sibheka kulokhu bhalela phansi le secular noma lo mthetho akhuluma ke ngawo athe umthetho ke noma isecular eyimfihlo number 2 uthi ke abakwazanga ukuthi bayithole mabeyiphenya bona njengethimba ithimba lamaphoyisa abaseshi nabo beyabashushisa.
And therefore, we don't want to speculate whether the magistrate has specific instructions on how to deal with it or not. But at least we know there was a secret circular pertaining to it.
That is correct, my lady.
Nothing further.
Manje lokushiya singafuni ukucabangela ke ukuthi kukhona umthetho thizena ayisewutshela ukuthi awusenzisa manje kodwa uma usubheka ke naku lo mthetho akhulumeke ngawo.
Mr. Msimang?
No question, my lady.
Thank you. You are excused, Lieutenant Colonel.
Thank you, my lady.
It's almost lunchtime. Mr. Noble?
Yes, my lady, we have lined up, albeit on short notice, one of the witnesses to testify, and the witness is present. So when we return from lunch, presumably, as we have the benefit of a couple of minutes at 2 o'clock, we can start with that witness.
The witness is ready to testify.
The witness is ready to testify.
Yes, we can resume at 2:15.
2:15.
Yeah.
Oh, as the court pleases.
And I take it that you have finished the 3 witnesses that you had indicated for yesterday.
Yes,
So
on my part.
on your part.
Yes, that witness will be led by one of my
Okay, and how many witnesses do you anticipate? One
For today,
For today.
I think this one will take us for the rest of
for the rest of the afternoon.
It might well happen to finish by tomorrow, but yes.
Thank you. Now we adjourn for lunch. We will resume at 2:15.
As the court pleases.
Thank you. Court adjourns.